everyone! Today I'm going to be doing a video on realistic back to school makeup. There's been lots of videos on YouTube lately of basically adults doing back to school makeup. I don't know about you guys, but I went to an all girls school, which means we weren't allowed to wear makeup. And so I never really started wearing makeup until I was maybe 15, 16. And even then I literally knew nothing about it, so it was all just practice and lots of YouTube videos. All these back to school videos show everyone doing this makeup that's literally like flawless, really kind of, it's meant to be light foundation, but it's not. It's really not, and it's like highlighter, get those lashes on and everything like that, and you cannot get away with that in any of the schools that I went to anyway. I know it's a little bit different in America because you don't have uniforms either at some of your schools, so we had such a strict uniform and it was horrible. So we won't go into that. So first I'm going to put my hair into a ponytail, which is what I used to wear to high school. Not attractive, we couldn't have our hair down. I used to just pull it back into a pony every day. I really did not care about how I looked, seeing I was surrounded by teenage girls, so whatever. So I'm just going to do that now. Sorry, it's literally covered in cat hair, but I always use these because if you're tying your hair up in the same place every single day for years of your life, it pulls your hair out. So I just prefer these. They're not so painful and they last forever. So I'm just going to do my pony now. Oh, that is such hard work. I hate doing my hair so much. So yeah, it's just a basic ponytail with a blue bobble and a nice horrible bump just there. Lovely. The next thing I do is moisturise my face in the morning. I used to use the Simple moisturiser from the Drugstore, which is super cheap, and I used to use it before doing my foundation and base makeup before school. Just use a small amount, but I don't have any of that anymore, so I'm just going to use, this is the Elizabeth Arden Millennium Day Renewal Emulsion. Always make sure you go down the neck as well, do not neglect the neck. Once your moisturiser has sunken in, you can now move on to the next step, which is technically priming, but I think using a moisturiser is okay for this sort of thing. You're not expecting yourself to have flawless makeup all day when you're at school, like who needs it? No one does. But if you do want to use a primer, and I will for the sake of this tutorial, this is the Bourjois Happy Light Luminous Primer. They have a matte one as well, but I have dry skin, so I enjoy the luminous one. And I like to rub it gently into my skin and then I tap it in to make sure it gets in all the pores. Does anyone else get these stupid little baby hairs that just kind of curl and they're too short to do anything with? But they just curl because they're behind my ears all the time and they drive me nuts, and I've had them for years and I literally have to like pull them behind my ears or I look so stupid. For foundation I'm going to use a BB cream because you don't need full coverage, you don't want to look cakey. So I'm going to be using the Maybelline Dream Fresh BB cream, which is apparently an 8-in-1 beauty balm skin perfector. I'm only going to be using Drugstore brushes to apply my makeup, and that is mostly Real Technique, so I'm going to be using the Expert face brush to apply this foundation. So I like to start on the parts of my face that are a bit more red, so my cheeks. Now I'm going to gently stipple it on. And that's it for foundation, so that's like barely one layer. And it's just really, really, really pretty. Doesn't completely cover everything up, which is fine. What I wanted is you want your skin to peek through. So next I'm going to be doing a little bit of concealer. And there's a few that I like that are Drugstore. My all-time favourite has got to be the Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer. It's got coverage, but it's not too heavy. I also really like the Revlon Photo Ready concealer. So I'm going to use the Wake Me Up under my eyes now. Now you don't want to use much, and you can either use your fingers, which I used for years, or that same Real Techniques brush again to blend it out. Now, to cover up any imperfections that are still annoying me, like the redness on my cheeks and a few, they're not even spots on my head, I literally just pick at my skin and then I create things that weren't there and make it worse. So I'm going to be using the Revlon concealer to do that with. So the next step is to set your cream products with a powder. So my favourite, all-time favourite, is the Rimmel Stay Matte. I have the translucent one. They do come in colour, but the translucent one is the best way to get a really natural matte finish without your foundation looking cakey. So it will look really nice, just set it down and stop it from moving. And brush wise, I'm going to be using the Real Techniques blush brush. So for eyebrows, I'm pretty lucky. I've got really good natural eyebrows and I never ever used to fill them in until like seriously recently. I'd maybe put some gel on them to make the hairs a bit more prominent, but other than that I would just brush them out, and that's what I'm going to do today. Of course you can do your brows if you want to, but just my personal preference. So for the rest of the face, you want to bring some colour back without looking contoured. So I have this little duo, Flower Beauty, which I bought in America years ago by accident, and it was like $2. It was so cheap. For blush, I'm going to go in with that Max Factor blush in Chestnut, and I'm going to use a sheer cover brush, a little blush brush or a powder brush, but it's not exactly Drugstore, but I've had it forever. Don't know where I got it from. It came in like one of those QVC packages my mum had, so I stole it, and I've had it since I was in high school, so why not? So what I'm next going to do is take that same bronzer colour and put it just on my eyelid using another Real Techniques brush. This one is the Deluxe Crease brush. So the mascara I'm going to take is the Maybelline Lash Sensational, and of course this is like a holy grail of so many YouTubers, and it's where I found it. It's super cheap as well, found in the drugstore. I use the waterproof version because I have really bad hay fever like all year round and I'm allergic to lime. So I'm just going to curl my lashes and then put one coat on the top and bottom lashes. I feel like highlighter's kind of really unnecessary to wear to school because you don't need to glow. Who's going to look at your glow when you're in a maths class? I mean, obviously if you want to you can go for it. So last but not least is to do lips, and my other one that I've had for years is by Revlon Colour Burst, and it's a lacquer and it is in the colour 105. So that's my back to school makeup complete, and this is just a really natural look for high school where you're not allowed to wear much makeup maybe, or it's a bit more strict, or you can even wear this as an everyday look because it is so pretty.